And we're live, I think. Hello, welcome to The Dead Within, episode 13. Thanks for joining us tonight. And tonight you've got me, Mike Mason, running the show, and I'm joined by Lynne, who tonight will be playing
Frances Hardy. Probably for about an hour before Frances Hardy. No, oh God, this is really not going to go.
When did that happen?
Is it? It's Frances Ball. She will probably be dead within an hour.
It's where player melds with character in one combination. Jema, who are you playing?
I'm playing Georgina Sullivan, sculptress, now on the edge.
And Becky, you are playing?
I am Eleanor Wright, a columnist and soon-to-be best-selling author of horror stories based on my own reality.
And Jayson, who are you?
Maxime Elliot. Still a dilettante, hopefully. He still has his dignity.
Okay, very good.
Oh, Petal, no, you left that far behind.
Well, we had an epic episode 12 last week with decapitations, madness, and large bodies of water all involved. Jema, you're going to do a recap, aren't you, I think?
I am. So, okay, we started last week creeping up on the evil magician Krylov, who was summoning a god monster creature, what man should not what of, from the lake by his house. We rode over with our wonderful Russian friend who owns boats and equipped us with assorted useful things like shotguns and swords that we barely know how to use. We did remarkably well on creeping up on said magician, surprisingly well on creeping up on set with said magician, and managed, Maxime and Frances managed to get a few good stabs in, whilst Georgina, much to her own surprise, managed to actually shoot her rifle and hit. No one was more surprised than she. Krylov went down, and Francis hacked his head off with a penknife.
I think I was actually using a machete at that point.
Oh, were you using the machete? Oh, that's fine. That's fine then. Meanwhile, the very sensible Eleanor had gone into the Krylov's house in search of his notebook, in which he had written a list of names, which would have linked us back to the scene of the crime, etc. And very sensibly pinched it, made off in the car without telling any of us where she was going. We waited a bit.
You didn't mention the soldiers between me and you.
Oh, there were soldiers. You know, it's a minor detail. Anyway, we hopped in the boat. We were going back across the lake with Krylov, the magician's head, in a piece of tarpaulin because we thought it might be useful. And yeah, something very unpleasant sort of writhed around in the lake and kind of went out and grabbed the body, headless body. We all went a little bit at that point. We did, however, make it to shore, despite Maxime's best attempts to leap overboard, push others overboard, throw the head overboard. And we all ended up somewhat disturbed on the other side of the lake. Hot-footed it back to Anna's cottage, our nice assistant and friend who's going to show us the way to the other world. And then we thought it would be a great idea, as we were passing, to drop the head in on back to the chap who had actually commissioned us to kill the magician in the first place. Mr. Gottman, who kind of made all our flesh creep a little bit. He was to make our flesh creep even more when we gave him the severed head. He was very, very, very overexcited about said gift, and started to, kind of lick it, and it was not nice. We all went a little bit again, and then ran off basically before Gottman could see that we were hideously disgusted by, well, he saw, but we made our excuses and left, and ran with Anna very fast towards the gateway to the other world in order to summon the god back to the place where he will be secure and not be able to what of whatever it was that he had in mind to do. However, we are very close, but there are unpleasant things between us and the door. The Zalozny, the kind of beastie things that have been howling and stalking us, are mustering, I think is the word. So yes, we shall see who wins that race. ... to be continued. Mike.
Okay, so
just
you are
gonna
stood in the. Go on.
Sorry, I was just going to ask, because I think it's my turn to do the recap next week, but I don't think it's necessarily worth me taking notes, is it? Because aren't we all dead by the end of this session?
He said, I'll give it an hour. Give it an hour, and I think we'll if you can make it through an hour.
Just so you know, if you make it through tonight's session, I'm just going to say you won't believe what could happen to you next week. That's all I'm going to say.
So there is a possibility. Okay, I'll take notes.
Okay, so you are deep in the forest. You know from having been there before that the doorway to another world is in the side of this kind of rock face. Further through the wood, not far now, but still a little way to go. And there are Zalozny. A pack of them seem to have been following you for some time. They've not really made any move to actually come towards you, but now they are yelping and screaming and barking and you see three of them break out of the trees in the distance and start running towards you. You can see there are others behind them. They seem to be holding back, seeing what happens to the three that are approaching you lot. They are a little way off. You've got a head start depending on what you want to do, whether you want to start shooting at them, running. What do you want to do?
Run, I reckon.
I was going to say run. I mean, I am, given what my phobia turned out to be and how rubbish my dex is, seeing as that, not phobia, mania, yes, seeing as I am seeking redemption for hacking that guy's head off, I am quite prepared to be the person, how that whole story with grizzly bears, you only have to run faster than the slowest person. I may well be that slowest person, and I can cope with that. I am willing to sacrifice myself by running very slowly.
Well, I've got a bit of a phobia of monsters going on at the moment, so I think that fear will lend my feet wings.
Georgina, I think you've got the highest dex, haven't you? Is it 80 or something?
I do. 80. Anyone beat 80?
And then who's on? Somebody's on 55, I think.
Me.
And I think you're next then, aren't you? And then Becky, Eleanor's on
30, so hopefully
30.
I
I'm
can
not the
outrun
slowest.
Francis Snowblast.
No, I'm 35.
Francis,
Wow.
35.
It's the heels.
Yes, that's true.
Just can't be seen out without them.
Okay, so you are all running for it. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. In that case, then, I need you all to make a con roll, please.
Con? Ooh.
Okay.
I wondered if you'd asked for a different marker after the dex.
I was expecting dex. Wow, no, my con's quite good.
I got an extreme.
No.
Ooh.
I literally made it by 1. I will take
Could we just
that.
rest here for perhaps just a moment?
Okay. Right. So if you, so this is where I need you to use the your move rating on your character sheet. If you passed the contest, add 1 to your move rating.
Mhm.
If you failed it, deduct 1 from your move rating. Then tell me what your new move rating is.
8.
8 as well.
Francis and Maxime is 8. Georgina is 7. And
7.
Eleanor is 7. Okay. Right. Let me see how quick the Zelazny are.
It's going to end badly, isn't it?
So they are. Ooh, so they are quicker. They're pretty quick because they made their con roll too. Okay, so these 3 Zelazny are creeping fast in. So let's see what your movement actions are. So here we go. So 2 points. So we have the Zelazny here. We have Max, Georgina, and Eleanor there. I've got my little diagram here. I'm just working things out. And then we have Francis and Maxime there, 1 space ahead. So basically, in a chase diagram, anyone who's keeping up, the Zelazny are two locations behind the slowest people in the race, which are currently Eleanor and Georgina.
Let's just ask, because I believe Anna is with us, correct?
Anna is with you, and
How's she
Anna, she is very okay. She's basically on 8 with you guys as well at the front. Okay, so one thing I need to do is work out my actions. So it's you all get 1 action. And the difference in movement between the slowest and the fastest. Okay, so that would be. Okay, so those of you on 8 have 2 movement actions.
Okay.
Those of you on 7 have 1 movement action. And unfortunately, the Zelazny have 3 movement actions.
Oh, that's not good.
Yeah.
Okay, so we begin. Okay, so round 1, we go in dex order, but and so your actions are mainly going to be: I'm running a lot. You can use an action to turn around and shoot or throw a knife if you want to do that, or I mean, in a busy marketplace, you might kind of overturn a market stall to cause a obstruction for someone. But in the middle of a wood, slightly more difficult. But if you can come up with a cool idea, then we may go for it. But I'm guessing you're mainly running, so there may be obstacles you have to face, like slippery ice and snow and fallen trees and crazy stuff happening. So just to forewarn you. However. Okay, so here we go. Round 1. Georgina, you are first. So what are you doing? There's a forest, snow, ice on the ground. You're going in that direction. Monsters are coming.
Yeah. Well, I kind of want to reach over and grab my bread knife as I start to run.
Okay, but that's on your back, so it's just it's a quick action. So you can that's a free action. I think you're not doing anything. Okay. You're just sort of getting it in your hand. So that's 1 action. Are you?
And I'm going to chain it towards the gate.
Okay, so I'm going to say at this point where you are.
Oh no! He's got too excited again.
Where he is standing still.
Oh no!
I suppose we'll be taking a short break.
To us. Don't leave us hanging, Mike.
Okay, so we might have frozen for a second, but we're back now. Okay, so you're running through the woods. I think there's a chance you could just slip over the icy snow. So for you to kind of, really get far ahead, I need you to make a dex roll, Georgina, to avoid falling and slipping on the snowy ice.
Oh, yes. Absolute beauty. I got 11. My dex is 10. So that's an extreme success.
Okay, so that's brilliant. So you go to yes, I slip and so you're now there. Okay, so you make it through that bit of woods. Okay, there's Zelozny now. Run. I'm going to make a dex roll to see how quick they are to get towards you. They failed their dex roll, so they are going to be running. So basically, they catch up to where Eleanor is. But you've got an action now that they've run all out. They're just coming up to you, but you're about to run forward. So in theory, they won't get you this round, hopefully. Which puts Maxime next. You can see there's Zelozny catching up. You see Georgina sort of scrambling forwards. Are you doing the same or something else?
So I'm assuming that the Zelozny are just behind. They're not kind of coming. So either
these are kind of coming behind. Yeah, I mean they're kind of
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. This might be absolutely terribly executed, but Maxime is going to get out his hip flask and a lighter that he acquired from smoking, and he's going to essentially light the neck of the hip flask to try and make a Molotov cocktail and chuck it back at the Zelozny.
Okay, so that's one action. I think that's an action. And your choice is to use your second and final action to lob it at the Zelozny, if that's what you want to do. Okay, so I need a throw roll.
Okay, here we go. Okay, I got a 1.
No.
Whoa!
I actually got a 1, yeah. I can show you.
Okay, I think. I mean, I was all prepared to say, how it kind of goes out and it kind of lands a bit short and it just pulls and drains into the snow. But clearly, you hit one square in the head. So I'm going to say it's a metal object. So I'm going to say there's damage from being hit in the head by a metal object, and then with the hit, it throws it's fiery liquid all over the head of this Zelozny. So let's say it's a 1d3 damage plus a d6 for the fire damage.
Okay. So that is 8 damage in total.
Okay.
Nice shot.
Very nice.
Thank you.
Okay.
That's not part of my Olympic training, but
have a tick on.
That was the one.
Keep them coming. Don't forget to have a tick on your throw roll, I think, on that one.
It's already ticked, or else it definitely
I thought it might be. Those of you who are, turning back to see that, you hear this kind of sort of scream from this Zelozny as you see its head suddenly engulfed in flaming whiskey or whatever it is, and it kind of scratches around and just goes running off into the trees, and you see it kind of collapse. It's still twitching around and but it's just going crazy, in pain and screaming and whatnot. So I think that would be a resounding success on that move, Maxime. So very good. Okay, Francis, what are you doing? Running. Okay, so
my throw is abysmal, and I will kill one of my friends if I try and throw anything.
Okay, so I'm going to need a dex roll from you to avoid slipping on the snow.
My dex is awful, so this is not.
Don't forget, you've all got
we've all got our free save.
You got your save, your boon.
Did you get a 1 as well?
No, I didn't get a 1, but I did get a hard success.
Oh, okay. So okay, so you fine. So you are one move ahead. So you basically catch up to where Georgina is at the moment. Very good. Oh no, you got
I've got 2.
You got 2. Yes, sorry, I'm just getting myself confused. So you caught up to where Georgina is, but you can sprint ahead if you like.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so you just make a straight run. You keep running, and I move you up a little ahead. You sort of charge in front. Meanwhile, Eleanor can is flaming Zelozny, and but other ones are still coming. What do you want to do?
They're almost upon me, aren't they? So
Yes.
I shall be sprinting as fast as I can. Well, not quite as fast as I can, because I'm going to put some of my effort into shouting. What I'm going to shout is the following. The name of the dark stars I know, Abyss, Yamar, Lob, QR, and Zayoth, of the gaps between the stars I know. I am indeed casting the call of Huber.
Okay, so what's your Cthulhu Mythos skill currently?
I think it's like 3 or something. Give me a second. Is this the bit where you're giving me a chance to tell me not to do it? It's 2.
It's 2. That's great. Could you?
I've got more than you.
Could you roll your Cthulhu Mythos, please?
That is a substantial fail.
Okay. Okay. You're shouting and running. It doesn't seem to be doing anything in a minute, but who knows what's going to happen in a minute. But could I have a dex roll while you run to see if you don't slip?
That is also a fail, unsurprisingly.
Okay.
You're hitting all my key skills here, Mike.
So, okay, so you slip. You make it to the next point, but you've fallen over, which isn't a good place to be. However, you are still, I imagine, even when you're falling over, you're still screaming out these names from this spell and see if they have an effect. Okay, right. New round, Georgina. What are you doing?
Can I just check? Our save roll or our automatic.
Yes.
Do we have to declare it before we attempt something?
No.
Or
No,
it can be a sort of retrospective. Oh bother!
It can be that. It's basically the special magic will allow you to turn a fail into a success. Obviously, you need to narrate how that happens, but yes.
Just so that I'm clear. All right, I am continuing to run as fast as I can. A lot.
Okay. No hazards at this point. So you're just running forward. You're on 1 action. So you catch up to currently where Francis is. That's all good. And then there's a Losny move. Okay, so I'm gonna see what happens then with these guys. Okay, so one of them runs straight past Eleanor and continues, chasing. One, however, stops over Eleanor and is caught up. Unfortunately, he has enough actions to make an attack roll. So, Eleanor, you can try to kick back, fight back in some way, or you can, try and roll out of the way and dodge this. What do you want to do?
Fight him.
Fight him. Okay, so give me a fighting brawl roll or whatever you're doing.
I thought you said bite him.
I did.
Yes, you did.
I said bite.
Yeah.
I failed.
Okay. Okay, I score a success. And
Can I make it a fail with my magic thing?
No, it only rolls you do. So you could turn your bite into a success at this point. No? Okay.
I'm not so convinced my bacteria is poisonous to it.
Okay, so it's it kind of, you kind of grabs and rakes at you a bit, and it takes a bite out of a chunk of your shoulder, and that's 3 points of damage.
I should say that there is some screaming and flailing involved here.
Yeah, you all hear the screaming. Okay, Maxime, what do you do?
I think Maxime would react to that scream, and if he sees Eleanor,
Eleanor is not
being
far
attacked.
from, because you haven't really moved, so yeah, you are very close to where this is happening.
Yeah, he's gonna draw his sword and gallantly try and fight off this monster.
Okay, so that's,
possibly with a successful roll in retrospect.
You can do all that.
Last time you tried that to defend me, you attacked me, so I'm not sure.
Well, there was a wizard there at the time. There isn't now.
And then the next time.
Okay, so that's a fail, but I'm going to use my blessing thing to make it a success.
Okay, I failed my roll, so that's good that you did that, because you win the combat and can do damage.
Ow.
Yes. Oh god, these dice are on fire today, so that is 11 damage.
Ooh, okay. Okay, so you down it. Do you want to describe what happens?
Yeah, so I think, Maxime would react to the blood-curdling screams coming from Eleanor. He sees her, like, the Zelazny is just sort of holding her down, and he runs at it and just impales it and almost kind of pushes off her completely.
Yeah, and yeah, it kind of slinks, falls off. You can see it's twitching. It's not quite dead, but it clearly can do no more harm now. It is, lying on the floor, twitching in agony. You've definitely dealt it a mortal wound, I would say. So very good. Have a tick on your using weapons to hurt things roll.
Or I've got so many tick skills.
Well, there you go. If only you would all sit down for 5 minutes and have a development phase. But I know it's saving the world business. It keeps you busy, I'm afraid. Okay, so where were we? So that was Maxime. Francis, what are you doing? You are ahead.
Running.
Well, you and Georgina are ahead at the minute. Running. Okay. Okay. You can see through the trees, the rock face where the door is. If you make a dex roll, you could be there this round.
Come on. Extreme success. Under 6th edition rules, that would have been a critical, but not anymore.
Okay, so Francis, you run and are at the rock face door. Okay, I'm just going to see what Anna's doing, because I forgot. Make a quick couple of rolls. That would put her 1, 2. So Anna is not quite at the door, but she's getting near to it. Okay, Eleanor, you've just been, Maxime has just got this thing off you. You can get up and run if you like, or what would you like to do?
There's probably at least a moment there where I'm wondering whose blood is all over me, whether it's mine or the monsters, and I'll get to my feet, and depending on how lightheaded I feel after that, conclude it might well be partly both, and start staggering off, but it's probably not going to be at the same pace, because I've just had a chunk taken out of my shoulder, which is agony.
Okay. Well, give me. Well, no, don't. You fell over. You've got past the slippery bit. We're going to move you up as you run. Basically, catch up with. Maxime, I guess, kind of pulls you a bit together. You kind of are at the same spot, kind of thing. So that's cool. Okay. You see there is a Zelazny in front of you, not far in front of you, but certainly it's kind of chasing after the others, a bit like a mad dog. Not, it's just running away from you rather than towards you, this one. And there you go. That's the end of that round. So it's a new round. Georgina, you can see the rock face ahead of you. Anna and Francis are ahead of you. Are you running for it or doing something?
I'm running for it. I'm running so
Running
hard for it.
Okay, so you catch up to where Anna is. Not quite there yet, but you are nearly there. There's Zelosny. So I've got one Zelosny in the race. Oh, he just rolled a 0-3, so it's probably good for me. He's near 2. Who's he near to? Oh, okay. Well, he's near to Eleanor and Maxime are the closest. So perhaps what he does do is running and hears you behind him and hears a commotion and sort of half turns and see you're not far, and just like a rabid dog just stops where he's going and turns around and runs back towards Maxime and Eleanor, and so that's one action. He's got two actions, so he can attack. So he's coming in, and I imagine Maxime is probably in front of Eleanor.
Oh yes.
Yeah. So Maxime, are you fighting back or are you trying to dodge it?
Yeah, I'm going to fight back.
Okay. I completely scuppered that roll. So as long as you make a success, you're
extreme. Yep.
Okay. So
just
you make extreme success with your cane, which is an impale. So that's maximum damage plus roll damage. It sounds like you've just got rid of all of them.
Nice.
Okay. 16 damage.
Yes. That one instantly kills this one. How do you do it? What happens?
Yeah, so instinctively, Maxime steps in front of Eleanor, and even if he doesn't quite get in with the sword, he will take the hit himself, almost like a shield or a meat shield. But yeah, the dog kind of tries to jump up, I guess, for Maxime's neck or whatever. So it's an easy sort of impale through the vulnerable parts underneath. So it just goes straight through and
straight through the heart kind of thing, almost. Yeah. Straight through it. Literally within, as it goes in, it just hits the vital organ and it just dies before you even finish the thrust as the weight of it kind of brings your arm down and falls to the ground. You look around and you look around as well, kind of like conscious that there's obviously nearest to you, you've dealt with, but you are aware there's a lot of them around watching, and you have that you all kind of freeze for that moment as you kind of just look and see whether they, what do they do, but clearly, you seem to be a force to be reckoned with, and you can see that they're not coming forward, they're backing away, all starting to back away into the distance in the tree lines. And clearly you have scared them, at least for the moment, perhaps buying you just a bit of time before they kind of, remotivate themselves. But for now, it seems you have won the day and can all now, make your way towards the rock face without any further ado, basically. So well done on that one. Okay, so I just noticed something to do with triggers and insanity. I shall put that to the side, just keeping my eye line for later. Okay.
20%, we get 20% for something with the artifact. I'm reminding you again. You
do, but not until you're in the other world. Okay. Okay, so you're all now at the rock face. Eleanor, clearly, blood is coming down through a shoulder wound. She's got a bit of a nasty bite there, and is looking a bit pale with the blood.
I'll pack it with some snow first of all, and then find the cleanest bit of clothing I've got, which I don't suppose is going to be many, and try to bandage my wound with that.
Okay, that sounds good. Okay, are you're doing first aid on yourself rather than letting somebody else do it?
Well, unless somebody else, I imagine I'll start, and then somebody else will probably go, "Oh, come here."
Tim will probably call for Anna, with some more supernatural methods.
Okay, well, Anna can help, but she just holds back in case any player characters want to have a tick in first aid. She just kind of holds back a second before she dives in. No one fills that void. So
given the way these dice are rolling at the moment, I'll give it a go. I'm not the world's best first aider, but we'll give it a crack.
Okay.
No.
As Anna rushes in and goes, not like that.
Not like that. Get out of the way, woman. Man, even Francis. And says, but unfortunately, that does mean Anna's making a pushed first aid roll now. But you lot don't know that, but you do, because I'm telling you.
Dramatic irony.
Okay, so luckily she passed. So, okay, so she binds up the wound. You're no longer losing blood, and you get your 1 hit point back for within the space of an hour in the wound. So you get a hit point back. So that's all good. Bella's mumbling something to those of you who aren't involved in first aid. Something about you need to open the door. The catch.
Well, what's wrong with the catch? Surely this is how we left it.
Yeah,
she can't open it, can she? She's kind of dead.
She's just kind of pointing at it and going, the catch, like, you know. And are you, Maxime? Are you kind of trying to open the door?
Yeah, because if memory serves, Maxime kind of mostly did that anyway the first time. So yeah, he'll just go. Yeah, well, what's the problem? Just find the catch again and get it.
Okay, so you look for the catch. It's there. I just need a strength roll to again just open the door.
Yes, that's a regular pass.
Okay, yeah, it's heavy, but you pull it clear again, and you see the steps leading downwards, through the mountain to the other world. Does anyone want to do anything before you enter in? You've got everything you need. You're all set.
Yeah, just want to make sure that we shut the door after us.
Yep.
Okay.
In case Hewitt does come running.
You shut the door and you enter inside, and you follow the tunnel as it goes down and then back up again, and eventually, to cut a long story short, you arrive at the exit door and into the other world. Okay, so who passed their sanity roll, or no, who failed their sanity roll the last time you were in the other world? Anyone remember?
I don't remember that far back. I'm pretty sure I passed.
Luckily, you recorded it all, Mike, and you knew you were going to ask that question, so you've checked.
I did write it all down in my handy notebook, which I unfortunately don't have to hand. But it's okay. I'm just going to get you to make a group luck roll instead. How about that?
Oh, no.
Well, what I was going to say was I believe that Maxime did lose like a couple, but he didn't go crazy.
No, Maxime, that's kind of basically what I'm trying to... Basically, it's only 1 point loss. So if you had lost a point last time you were here, you're basically immune. So Maxime would be immune to this now. If you'd made the sanity roll, then you would make another roll now, basically. So why don't we do that? Maxime remembers. I've got a feeling it was maybe just Maxime who made it last time.
I think so.
So why don't we have Eleanor, Georgina, and Francis make a sanity roll?
No.
Sanity is at the moment.
Okay.
Spectacularly nope.
Fluff monkeys, I missed it by 3, and of course I can't spend luck because it's a sanity roll.
You can use your boon if you want to.
No, I'm quite looking forward to the next incipient bout of madness.
Okay, so you two, so Eleanor, did you make that roll?
You're muted.
Oh no.
Sorry, I've been making notes and didn't want the typing to come through.
That's okay.
No, to the extent that I have changed my dice.
Okay.
You just
Fine,
got some
so-
new ones.
So
Yes,
all
and I've
three
got
of
some
you,
other new ones.
all three of you lose 1 point of sanity, which for Eleanor is not an issue. However, because Georgina and Francis are indefinitely insane, they are still within the kind of window where they have a bout of madness, basically. So, okay. So, I did make a note. What are we going to do? Okay. Yeah. Okay. That's fine.
Maybe we should have just gone with the group look roll after all.
I gave you the
With your
option.
luck, no.
Gave you the
Yeah,
option.
11.
Okay. So, Francis, you're here because Mr. Weston asked you to come to Russia and take this thing on, and so it's kind of all his fault, really. So in your mind, what you really need to do is go and find Mr. Weston and tell him how that this is all his fault, and he's the one that made you murder Krylov. He's the one that's made you come to this place. Clearly, he orchestrated the whole thing, and he must be here somewhere. So why don't we go and find him so you can give him a good bit of your mind?
Mm-hmm.
Georgina, Georgina, on the other hand, looks about and sees Robert over in the distance, waving, calling you forward that this is the way you need to go.
Oh, wonderful! A
So
sign. Great.
you both. So basically,
This way.
yeah.
I should. Yes.
No, this way. We've got to go find Weston. He needs a good talking to, that man. All
No,
his
Rob-
fault.
Robert is pointing us in that direction.
What?
Maxime and
No,
Eleanor can see no one else here.
Are either of them correct in the direction they want to go?
Maybe Georgina is kind of in the right direction-ish, but not 100%. Roughly in the right way.
As the argument goes on for a little bit, then, and I kind of pick up a little bit about what's going on, I'll go. Mr. Weston's this way.
Where?
This way. And I point roughly
Right.
the direction Georgina was.
And rather alarmingly, Francis indeed pulls out his penknife, flicks out the blade, and starts marching off in a very determined sort of
Oh God.
fashion. Penknife held out at a really stupid angle in front of him.
I'm kind of looking to Maxime with the.
Come on, we've got to hurry. There's no time to lose. Robert's waving. We have got a sense of urgency here. Let's get going.
Yes, okay, Georgina.
Yes,
right.
let's follow Francis.
Okay.
Who is busily yelling Weston's name the entire time.
Weston!
What's Anna's reaction to all of this, by the way?
Anna is looking a bit bemused and a little concerned, really, and she's kind of going this way, which is kind of the way you're now going, but she looks and sort of turns to Maxime and Eleanor and says, "What are they on about? Where are they going?"
I think it could be something to do with Gottman, and his behavior freaked them out a little. So I'm assuming they are hallucinating or seeing something that is not really there.
She kind of just nods and just looks a bit confused by it all. The land around you is even paler than it was the last time you were here. The sunless sky. There's a there's a kind of a feeling of dislocation here. And don't forget, your thoughts can be heard while you're here. And
Oh heavens! I do apologise to the ladies now. That is yes. Sorry, probably a bit. But he's a very bad man, that Weston. It's not like, questioning his birth is particularly uncalled for at this point in time.
What the bloody hell is up with these morons?
Yes, that's what I want to know. That's why I'm going to find him. To find out what's wrong with these bloody morons.
Oh gosh.
Eleanor and Maxime,
they're going to get us killed.
Mm-hmm.
Can you make a spot hidden roll, please?
Can try. Oh, I can for once. Well, that's nice.
Oh, that was a pass. Nope.
Okay. No? Okay, so just Maxime. Maxime, you notice the sky is kind of like pulsing. Almost like as if you were looking at a water surface. It's kind of like pulsing and rippling, like it's very strange. You can see that the ground is like it's bleached, even though before it was kind of white and yellowy. It's even more bleached now, and there's there were occasional kind of clusters of weeds and trees and things like that. Even those, that the kind of color is kind of washed out of them as if it's drained away. It's like the whole land is just draining, the life of it draining into ashes, I guess. There's this strange sense that that the whole place is dying. It's this kind of feeling you're having about it. You carry on walking, and Georgina, you see Robert ahead of you, still beckoning you. However, he disappears, and you kind of question. You start to worry and panic. Where's he gone? And in that kind of moment, you kind of come to your senses, and you kind of not sure why was Robert there. You seem to remember something about Robert, but he's not there now, and you seem to have been walking. You kind of not really got a memory of why what you were doing in the last 5 minutes or so. And Francis is storming off ahead, holding this knife out, sort of ranting and chuntering.
Where are we heading for, Maxime? What?
We've got to go to the Grove, and we appear to need to call it Western. Sorry, it's to Maxime.
Yes, I have a plan potentially if Francis deviates too much from our route.
Do you know where we're going?
Western is to the right a little, Francis.
Thank you.
Right.
Yes, we've been there before.
Can I have a power roll?
Thinking, it would be really good to sketch this while I'm here.
Yeah.
Sorry, a power roll from
a power roll from all of you except Francis.
Are you saying that
I'm going
being
to
man
spend
at this
2
point is
luck.
actually quite beneficial?
2 luck. There we go.
5 luck. But I've passed my first roll with the use of luck.
Yes.
Okay.
A good success.
Okay, so all 3 of you make it. You all 3 of you remember where the stone circle was last time. Anna is kind of, guiding you that way anyway, but you kind of know that, it's definitely just over, that way. But in top of that, there's this, last time there was a sense of you kind of being watched, that there was some kind of pervading kind of intelligence or awareness, kind of part of the landscape almost, and it's just not there now. It's like whatever was here, whatever kept this place together has gone. It's more a sense of feeling that the sense of the space, the sense of loss rather than than anything else. There was something here before that's now gone. And as you kind of make your way towards the area, you see, you can see that ahead of you, Maxime, you can see Edward, and standing with somebody else you don't know, another visitor perhaps. The other visitor seems to be weeping, crying out, and Edward seems to be kind of comforting them, kind of patting them on their back, they're kind of not quite in the way you're going. They're just off to the side. Do you want to go to them, or do you kind of carry on regardless? Or
I probably would. Maxime probably would be inclined to at least see what's going on.
Is it just Maxime going over, or anyone else going?
Can we all see them?
Yeah.
Yeah. Go over and see what's going on.
Okay, Francis obviously is not. Yeah.
Francis is busy.
I'll guide Francis around in a circle around the...
Let's just keep going right.
Francis, you are actually due to come out of your bout of madness anytime about now. So we'll say that you kind of, you start to, just at the point you realize that Eleanor is kind of, annoying you. Just as you think, well, I'll use this knife then. Just at that thought, you kind of come to your senses and kind of like you feel really angry still. You feel like you want to use this knife on someone, but perhaps Eleanor isn't the best person. That's probably doesn't deserve it. But you feel you are back to your relatively normal self, let's say, at this point. Meanwhile, Maxime and Georgina, you head over. They're not that far away, but you see that the person is weeping. Again, neither of you know who they are. They just seem to be, some middle-aged man. He's kind of weeping, and he's kind of just saying out in general, Did you see it? Did you see it? Edward is just kind of saying, there. It's gone now. It's gone now. It's left here. It's left. It'll be okay. And Edward's kind of is aware that you are approaching Maxime, and says, look, this fellow is distraught that he feels so alone here. I mean, I was just trying to say it'll be all right, but between you and I, this is the end of all things, isn't it?
We have come here to finish this, Ed.
What you do will end my existence. It will end our existence. But I think it will mean other people are saved. Is that right?
Yes, Ed.
Yes. Then you must be doing the right thing. And the other guy is kind of like, no, don't. I want to exist. I don't want to die again. And it's kind of just in a bit of a real mess, really, just in a huddle on the floor, really. It's this other person. Edward is just kind of doing his best, but clearly it's a losing battle in terms of trying to comfort this other visitor. But Edward does look nervous and fearful. And you say anything else, or?
I think Maxime would actually head forward and embrace him, because potentially this is the last time he'll ever see him.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, you kind of embrace, and Edward kind of says, I don't think there's anything more I can do for him. I should come with you. And he kind of basically, walks with you towards the stone circle.
Okay.
You about an hour or so of walking. So it's about 2 hours in total. So you've been going for about an hour or so. It seems about an hour. It could be more, could be less. You come to this kind of dried up riverbed, and you see, to its side, just kind of raised up, is this stone circle that you saw last time that Anna took you to, and you can, you can see that in the middle of this stone that had that indentation in the middle, which looks kind of similar to the similar size to the artifact that Maxime is still carrying around, I think.
Yep.
You are there. You're there. Anna says we must prepare the area.
Well, we know how to do the chant. How do we prepare the area?
And we must clear the circle and make sure it is clean and clear of anything obstructing. But this is where you must draw the glyph.
Oh, right.
Yes.
The Monas hieroglyphica.
What do we do with the number, the seeds?
That's part of the spell. They get cast as we recite the number.
Okay.
Yes, yes. So you must have the seeds in, whoever.
Is it 87 or 78?
77.
77.
Anna's she's brought the 12 knives with her that aren't part of the ritual as far as you're aware, but she seems to think it's very important to kind of position these knives in a circle around the space, basically, as I guess she may be doing some sort of added circle of protection or clearing the area or cleansing it in some way. But she says she will set to work on doing that. So who's doing what else? And have you decided who's actually casting the spell?
Well, I
We
can
all
draw.
are, aren't we?
Ah.
Oh, well, I mean,
But
yes.
the spell, you'll know the spell, and you can all contribute to it. But ultimately, the spell, what it requires you that you'll know is it requires one of you to be in the middle of the circle as the caster. The rest of you are external to the circle, throwing in your energies and good thoughts, basically. Ultimately, one person is going to make a roll to see if the spell works. So that's the caster.
We know that there is a cost for casting this spell, and it's likely the person in the middle will probably pay the highest price.
Yes.
And that should be me. I have a lot to atone for. Just to make it right.
I am willing to do it, but I don't feel I'm particularly strong in the knowledge or stout of heart.
But you have plenty of positive energy, Georgina.
That is true. I do care, and I do want to set everyone free. I am very happy to take the risk in order to send the souls of our dear friends back where they should go.
I fear that my fate might well be intertwined with our somewhat creepy friend. Therefore, any price I pay will hardly be worse than that.
Mm.
Although we have
Well-
tried to fulfill his words by already having turned up, but
He's not a pleasant man.
So while you decide who's drawing the glyph in the circle, who's drawing the old John Dee's kind of man-like figure.
I shall do that, as I sketched it into my notebook, and I still have it in my sketchbook.
Okay.
So,
And okay, so you get to work on that. Maxime, what are you going to do with this artifact you've been given?
I suppose Maxime would initially ask Anna what to do with it, but he assumes it's going to be positioned somewhere, either in the middle or maybe the caster has to hold it.
Okay. There's this rock in the center that's got this indentation in. And you kind of feel that, you should at least see if it fits in this indentation, because it just sort of seems right. And if you do that, it does. It kind of slots in like it's meant to be there to some degree, and it kind of sits in there. It's kind of not glowing at all at the moment. It doesn't do anything when you put it in, but it just seemed right that it should go in there if you're happy with that. Georgina, with that in place, this kind of almost semi-translucent rock with this kind of dark kind of center. It's almost like an eye. And your stick figure man that you've got to draw has got one eye, and it kind of, maybe if you make that the eye and draw the head around it, the body from that seems to kind of make sense.
Nice appropriate placement of keys.
Okay, fine. So you get to do that. Anna's got the knives out. Who's got the seeds?
We left them with Anna, but it'll be the person in the middle who gets them.
Yeah.
So the ones that has to cast them.
Okay, so the bag of seeds. I don't know if anyone wants to recount them or not, but there's a bag of,
I think we should.
77 seeds.
Yeah, I think we should. Yeah.
Okay, so somebody sits and counts them all out. Okay, there are 77 there, I think. We don't need to add any further drama to that.
Good.
To the seeds. So there are 77 seeds. And you are kind of all set. You all know what you need to do. There's this chant that you need to do. It kind of, you have to repeat it a few times, but certainly the first time that you do it, there's a bit, at this number, I decree them, is the bit you've been told. That's where you've got to cast the 77 seeds, out. Hopefully, at that point, it will call Huber to this place. And in theory, pull him from Earth so he can't be on Earth. So, win-win, hopefully. So you are kind of all set. And it just comes down to, who's going to stand in the middle of the circle. I can see you're all volunteering and rushing at once.
Oh, no. I mean,
Obviously, Francis
Hey, maybe you should do it, Mike.
It should.
Francis certainly feels.
I should do it. My life has been very strange since my beloved was taken away from me, and just remember to run really, really, really fast back out when Huber arrives.
Okay, Francis, you going to go along with that, or do you want to fight and you should do it or not? I mean, you feel you should, but I mean, you're not. You're in control.
But...
Oh no, I think I know what the price is.
I feel I should, but also, I don't really want to be patronising to a lady by telling her what she can and can't do. That kind of would be bad.
I think the person in the middle should probably be the slowest runner. I think they're kind of like a vessel for Hoover. I think what we've got here isn't calling Hoover back into the lake. I think it's calling Hoover, like, to the person casting it.
Oh.
Well, it's you or me then.
I'm using my poker face.
There was a price to be paid.
Is the price not just our beloveds disappearing forever? That's a pretty.
Think it's us, the person who casts it. It's just a suspicion. I've got no evidence or thought other than it seems to make sense.
Well, in that case, it's you or me.
I'm already wounded.
Oh my.
Oh, Eleanor, no.
Right. Well, in the grand tradition, if we can't make our minds up, let's just toss a coin.
Yes.
That seems fair. Right.
You can't toss a bloody coin when you're choosing who's going to die or not.
Why not? We're British. It's traditional.
Very, very stoic of you, Francis.
This is ridiculous.
The entire situation's ridiculous. Tossing a coin is not making it any more or less ridiculous.
Maybe we can just
Really
ask
not.
Anna. Anna, what's going to happen?
Jesus, I don't know. But we must act quickly. Who knows how long the land is dying, how long it will be here for.
Right,
Hoover is gone from here.
I'm going to have to make the executive decision. It's me. Ladies, I'm sorry, but not in this case. It is not ladies first.
I'm tossing a coin, so 11 or more, it's you. I've been rolling high all night.
That's a funny shaped coin.
I rolled low.
Serves you right.
Unbelievable.
Oh, okay, fair enough. If you're that desperate.
No, but that's it. That's what the coin decided.
Okay, right. Well,
You were the fastest runner earlier.
This is true.
You take your positions, Eleanor in the middle of the circle, the rest of you with Anna and Bella on the external to the circle. And, you sort of build yourselves up, thinking about what you've got to say. And at that point, what you think to yourselves in your head is, what I really want now is a warm cup of tea. That's what I really wanted to be doing, not reading this ritual in this alien other land. And so what we're going to do is take a break, have a cup of tea, fortify ourselves for the great magical working that will now take place when we come back. So we will see you all in about 10 minutes time for what happens next. See you in 10. And we're back. Hello. Okay, so we are fortified with cups of tea, although our characters unfortunately aren't. And we are about to, are you going to do this thing? Are you going to cast this strange
Mike,
spell?
we're not. We're going to go on strike now after 13 weeks of this. We've had
Okay.
enough.
Fine. Well, I can read you what happens if you don't want to do the spell.
No.
I'll give you a hint. It isn't good.
I get the impression that casting the spells is only varying degrees of bad.
Indeed, it's all on a spectrum of bad to really bad.
Look at his little face. He's enjoying this.
Yeah,
it's good,
he's
isn't
loving
it? Right. Okay. So you're all set up. Eleanor, you have. Oh no. Yes, Eleanor, you have a bag of seeds in your hand. The rest of you are outside the circle. Okay, so we begin the spell, the ritual, the answer that was given to you all those months ago that you've tracked down the various elements of. Okay. What happens is, as the words flow out of your mouths, the artifact given to you by Gottman, the eye of the Monus Hieroglyphica, begins to glow. You feel this overwhelming kind of weight upon your shoulders, like the air is pressing down upon you. You can feel the it's like it's an indefinable thing. It's something it's like pulling towards you. It's like the wind, but it's stronger. It's more intrinsic. It's kind of all consuming as you kind of release these words out. And as you say these words kind of in unison and you repeat them, you realize all you can hear is your own voice. You can see people around you kind of shouting these words out into what seems to be like almost like a galing wind. And you can't hear a word they're saying. They're just moving their mouths. And all you can hear is your own voice coming through. And okay. And then we come to the technical bit. Okay, so each of you can input any number of life points, magic points, in other words, into this act. And all of you can put in as many as you like or as few as you like. All I need to know is how many, if any, each of you are putting into this. How invested are you all in doing this?
I am going to put 6 magic points into this, because that's pretty much half of what I've got.
6.
Yeah, I'm very invested. I'm going for 6 as well.
6 as well. Maxime, how many are you putting in?
I feel like just for lols mainly, I'll add a third 6 in there.
Okay.
I really hope that helps.
Anna is putting in a secret number because obviously, this is a out of character thing at the moment. But Anna is going to put this number in, which gives a total of that. Eleanor, how many are you putting in?
I don't see why I wouldn't just put all of them in.
Okay, how many is that?
10.
10. Okay.
Sorry to break the pattern.
Okay, so I now have a magic number, which includes all things taken into account, and it includes a certain bonus you get from the artifact. And okay,
what's going to happen?
So the caster now makes a percentile roll, and we see whether your roll is under this magic number or not.
I used this was also my token to remind me that I have an auto pass, and I've just spent it.
Okay. Do you want to make the roll anyway?
I rolled high again, by the way.
Oh, you did? Did you roll? You failed the roll, but you're going to use the magic.
I know I failed the roll.
Anna. Okay.
My dice rolled low once all night, and that was when we were tossing the coin.
Okay. Well, you use your boon given to you by Anna, and just as you feel the spell kind of working, and it just seems to drain away, and as you realize that, you go no, and you clutch the pouch that Anna gave you, and it kind of seems to revitalize the whole procedure. Basically, you needed to roll. Your combined total was 54%, just so you know. Luckily, you didn't have to push the roll because you made a success. It's good. Okay. However, there is a cost in this one, and Eleanor is going to bear the cost of this, and there is 8 points of sanity.
Oh, that's not so bad. I thought I was going to become Huber. So what is it? When you lose a quarter, you go nuts, don't you?
It's 1/5. What's your current sanity?
Well, it was 40.
So 40, and you're losing 8.
8.
So that's a fifth.
Mhm.
So it's hello, indefinite insanity. Welcome to the club.
You become indefinitely insane. You gain 5 more points of Cthulhu Mythos.
Hang on, I can't click 32 on this character sheet. Anything but thing just doesn't recognise. Right, 5 points of Cthulhu Mythos. Okay.
Yep.
I genuinely think the number 32 is broken on this character sheet.
It does sound that way.
I'm going to test mine now.
Fine, on mine.
As you fall into a bout of madness, Eleanor begins to just this kind of primal scream, which kind of you think maybe was part of the spell, but just continues on now. And Eleanor just sort of, excuse me, screams and screams for what seems like ages, collapsing into a heap in the middle of this circle as she just kind of diminishes down and screams and kind of becomes almost kind of fetal, lying on the floor.
Does it feel like the magic is done? Like we've sort of finished everything that needs to be done? Am I going to do anything? Am I going to cause horrible ripples if I run over to her and just kind of...
The artifact is burning brightly white. You see that.
Okay.
You look around and you see Edward and Robert and all of your visitors are stood around you, and then all of a sudden they seem to disintegrate. They literally kind of fall apart and collapse into just ashes that fall to the ground. And you see the landscape, this kind of bleached, pale kind of landscape. You see color seeming to kind of build in it, like the pale reeds are starting to kind of look darker, like green, like becoming green, or this kind of greeny brown color. You see the sky is no longer pale; it's kind of glowing, kind of faint purple, kind of clouds or something, kind of filling, almost like somebody dropping an ink into water and kind of, starting to seep through and fill, paint the landscape almost, is what you're seeing.
I think she did it.
I think she did.
I think she did it. I think we should get out of here.
Yes.
I think we
Quick,
should.
help me pick her up.
Yes.
Yes, definitely.
As you gather Eleanor up, who continues to scream, Anna screams and points to the riverbed that you came from. And this glistening black kind of liquid that's kind of seeming to be forming. It seems to be like almost like a large kind of snake,
we need to go
10 feet more long, lying in this empty riverbed. It's like this kind of coiled shape kind of forming. You can see it kind of taking shape, becoming, seeming to be growing arms or legs and a kind of like a torso. And you see it kind of broadening out, and arms, kind of these kind of hooked kind of arms, kind of thrusting out of this kind of liquid that's kind of becoming like jelly. And you see blood kind of, as it kind of, blood seems to be flowing across its surface, kind of filling these kind of limbs, and blood is washing out of it onto the riverbed, kind of filling the river. soaking into the ground, and you see this, what it must be like a head or something, kind of starting to form this kind of like bubble that kind of grows and becomes more solid, starts to become defined, and starts to kind of twist.
Not looking.
Go.
Not looking.
Let's not
Grabbing
hang
Eleanor
around.
and running.
So you grabbing Eleanor and running, running away from this thing, as you. However, mentally, this pressure that was building on you from the spell now seems to it's like hands are pushing down on your shoulders. It's a struggle to walk, as you almost feel like you're being fixed to the spot. And in that kind of moment, as you kind of feel this kind of realization that whatever this thing is, this Huber, it seems to, whether it's mentally or psychically or that or it is this land, and it's using the land, it's kind of clutching you and holding you, trying to restrain you almost. And as you feel it's kind of this kind of cold alien kind of intelligence touch you, even though you're running away or trying to, you feel the compulsion to make a sanity roll.
Do not fail me now.
Thick and fast.
Yes, I made it.
Come on.
Frustratingly, I passed, and I was hoping to fail so I could move it off this cursed number 32 on my sheet.
That would be a fail, but because this is kind of important, it's time to burn that boon.
Okay, so Francis uses up the boon and makes the roll, passes. Georgina, you pass the roll.
I did.
Eleanor passed the roll, and Maxime, did you pass as well?
Maxime very passed.
So you all passed the roll. So I only have to roll one die, not two.
But it's a D20 or something really large.
Okay, so I'm just going to go down in order. So Maxime, you lost 1 point of sanity.
Oh.
Eleanor, you lose 4 points of sanity, but
Yes.
you are currently in a bout of madness. You can't lose any more, so you don't lose 4 points unless you want to lose a point to move you off that chart. I'll let you.
Yes, I'll lose one.
Just one, token one. Georgina, you lose 3 and have a bout of madness. Francis, you lose 6 and have a bout of madness.
Oh God.
Oh God, how bad would it have been if I hadn't made that roll?
Oh man.
Okay, however, there are benefits sometimes to thinking outside the box, let's say. Okay, so you, Francis, Georgina, and Eleanor, because you're all currently indefinitely insane, all get 4 points of Cthulhu Mythos from this insight you're about to get.
It's a good thing.
Good thing.
Hooray!
Your
I don't think
mind,
I've ever had this much mythos before.
your mind reels as you realise this whole thing is a construct of Huber. This whole place, it died when it had left, but it's coming back to life. It's like a rebirth as Huber kind of, has been called back here by you. You are realize, those of you, well, basically, Maxime is coming. Come on, guys, let's go. And you realize as you turn around that the other three, Anna's with you, but the other 3 are all stood there transfixed, looking up and looking down towards wherever Huber is in this riverbed. Even if you can't see him, you're looking in that direction and staring like they're transfixed, rooted to the spot.
What are you doing? Get away from it!
Save 2 worlds.
Okay.
Imagination this thing's got, isn't it?
Okay, so who's got the lowest look out of Eleanor,
15.
Francis, and Georgina?
14.
If it's Georgina, I'll be surprised.
22.
I am on 38.
So Eleanor. Hoover is interested in these new additions to its world, and it wants to know a little bit about what are these strange things in my land. And in your kind of insane state, you can hear and feel Hoover's mind reach out into yours and starts to kind of dig through your mind to understand what you are. And unfortunately, that's not a pleasant thing to experience, and you lose 7 more points of sanity, Eleanor, as it rips into your mind, and you just can't resist it. It's just, this alien intelligence is basically rifling through your mind and memories, trying to understand what you are.
But does she
As
see
you
me? She's
continue-
temporarily insane?
Yeah, unfortunately, even still, it
Damn.
has a compounding effect, I'm afraid. And Eleanor is just stopped screaming for a while, but now is just screaming in agony as your mind is ripped apart in this fashion. Maxime, you and Anna seem to be the only two who seem, unaffected. What are you doing?
Are we still struggling to move?
You feel like you feel the weight, but you feel you can move it. It seems maybe whatever it's doing to the others is drawing its focus, and its focus is on them. And you and Anna seem, you look at each other. Anna's kind of looks to you and sort of, like, what should we do?
I mean, Maxime has been with his companions for a long time now, but instinctively, with the big monster behind him, he's still gonna leg it at this point. Like,
Okay.
writhing
Nice
horrible
one.
dogs, okay, but ginormous mind-eating creature, no.
It's fair enough.
It is.
Exactly.
If we don't die horribly, we'll probably forgive you. Maybe.
So you drag Anna away. You both run off.
Yeah. If Anna's not coming, then
Okay.
I take her with me.
Yeah, no, she comes. The three of you, just as as Maxime and Anna kind of disappear on the horizon, you feel this alien mind is no longer looking at you, and you all kind of come to your senses, but you have these thoughts in your head that it's kind of like this, and this is partly what that extra Cthulhu mythos is all about. So you have these thoughts in your head that this is Hoover's world. This is, the name of it. This is Zoth, and it exists out in space. You even have an idea that it's somewhere beyond Taurus in terms of the constellations. You feel that Hoover has touched the Earth, but it has been here for hundreds of millions of years. You sort of have this kind of imagery of it arriving, of it being here, and these other kind of strange, kind of massive, huge kind of entities that kind of you can't really give shape or voice to, but they're intimately, unhuman and intellects and ancient, and kind of they were here too, and they left and they went to Earth, and Huber remained here for some reason, and it's like Huber had to wait here because his time was to come when he would wake the others that had gone before him. And you hear strange kind of words in your head, for Nag, for Tang, Cthulhu, things like that running, around your heads that you don't really have it. It's all gibberish, but and
Are you sure it's not Welsh?
might be. You realise the Love Dead were echoes of Huber. It had drawn from its kind of, as it reached and touched Earth, it had drew from the memories of humanity and kind of created these visitors out of its mind, almost like a tangible side effect of its presence. And now with its connection to Earth seemingly severed, those visitors are now gone. You see these kind of strange kind of sights that kind of all kind of fragmentary and fade, and you see an image of Gottman. You see him kind of calling to Huber. You see him like this kind of human kind of shape that clearly isn't human, seems to twist and writhe on above this lake. You see doors in mountainsides opening and immense kind of arms and claws and tentacle like growth seeming to come through the doors. And you see the kind of the seas boiling and bubbling and this kind of nightmarish kind of vision of the past or the future. You're not quite sure. And these are all the things that are kind of going round in your mind as you kind of released from Huber's attention and find yourself stood, back where you were. No sign of Maxime or Anna other than some dots in the horizon. What do you want to do?
Leg it.
We need to pick up Eleanor and go.
Yes.
Okay. Eleanor, you are, you wake, but you are, still somewhat distraught, but you're not, you can control yourself. You're in control. You're not screaming anymore.
We've kind of put her arms over our shoulders and sort of between us, and I'm just going to say, it's all right. You did it. We're okay. We're safe now.
Okay.
Muttering the Lord's Prayer under my breath.
that may be wishful thinking, because I'm in peace, but it's what I shall say to Eleanor with that little
Eleanor,
bit.
Because you got a bit, actually, I give you not quite enough Cthulhu Mythos. You have another 6 points.
Oh God!
Oh,
from your insight.
Goodness me!
So Eleanor's Lord's Prayer, in her mind, she's saying the Lord's Prayer, but what's coming out of her mouth is talking Fatag and Cthulhu, Fanar, and whatever.
And the Guadalfar.
Exactly. This is what's coming out of Eleanor's mouth, and you run off and not looking back. All you hear is some kind of like strange kind of bubbling piping sounds coming over the wind perhaps from that riverbed and echoing in the wind as you resist looking back again and keep going forwards. Eventually, time moves and you find yourselves, you find Maxime and Anna, who just seem to have only just got to the rock face, to this doorway in the air. Maxime, it's like 1 second ago it seemed like you were running from running away, and now suddenly they're here with you. It's like time is very weird. It doesn't seem to be making any sense. But anyway, you are all at this doorway. I presume you all want to go through it, unless does anyone want to stay?
No,
Maybe we got time for a coffee or two.
no.
Even if Eleanor did want to stay, she's not getting the chance. Because I know that she doesn't really want to stay, even if, like, at the moment she's talking gibberishness.
Okay. You go through the door, back through the passageway, and in no time at all, everything's a blur at this moment for all of you, really. You arrive back through the other door. Darkness is starting to fall. It must be late afternoon, you'd think. It's snowing, cold. Anna is trembling, is kind of not saying a lot. You can see she's, a bit like Eleanor to some degree, and Francis and Georgina, kind of like just sort of shaking and kind of like, what was that? And you realize, as you stand there for a moment, kind of just taking your breath and wondering what to do next, that the forest is completely quiet. There's no monstrous sounds of the Zelosny around that you just get the sense that they're not there, they've gone, that all the visitors have gone. Does anyone want to do anything immediately, or?
Shame you used that hip flask of yours as an incendiary device, boy. We could have done with some of that now.
Well, yeah, Maxime will kind of be
hang on,
like doing, like trying to look for it and then remembering, and then especially when you rub it in.
It's okay. I pull out mine. Just remembered I have one as well. I shall pass around my hip flask to everyone.
I'm going to try and sort of bring Eleanor out of it. Now we're a little bit safe. I'm just going to kind of try and get her to kind of concentrate on me and just look at her and tell her she's okay. It's me, Georgina. You did it. You're safe. We're okay.
Why is she saying those words? What happened back in there?
Huber is back, but he talked to us. He showed us things. I think he talked to Eleanor in her head more, and then let us go. But she's not.
Do you want to make a? You haven't got that skill, but did you want to make a psychology roll, Georgina, on Eleanor? Obviously, the best roll you can possibly make would be quite good.
Okay.
Use that luck.
Right. I'm going to spend 10 points of luck, or I'm going to have an automatic success here, please.
Hey.
Okay, right. I'm just going to say I can make an automatic success, but that's just a regular success.
Oh,
if
okay.
You want it to be better than that?
Yeah. Let me just. So we need a psychology. No, I'm going to spend 10 points of luck.
And that makes it a.
That takes it to a good success.
Okay, hard success. Okay, that's good enough. That's what I was after. Okay. You basically, in your calming voice, just kind of bring Eleanor out of this kind of almost trance-like state that she sort of seemed to be in, repeating these words and looking, weirdly in the sky and a lot. But you kind of bring her back to herself. You kind of bring her down, calm her down, and kind of, and Eleanor, you kind of feel, you can hear Georgina's voice, and you kind of latch onto it, and this sort of semblance of normalcy kind of, starts to build in you as you kind of calm yourself.
I grab her arms tightly and I say, we live on a placid island of ignorance in the midst of black seas of infinity, and it was not meant that we should voyage far. So
Yes, that.
There you are, and you feel a bit more in control now, Eleanor. But there's this strange knowledge in your head that clearly needs to come out at some point. But for the moment, you have it bottled up. Okay, Anna at this point says we must rest. We must get out of here. I know a farm. I have a friend, a farm not far from here. We will go there. Yes.
Yes.
I think that's a very good idea. Thank you, Anna.
I want to rest for many months.
Sadly, we
Okay.
have a date tomorrow with John Palliser. We can't rest for many months.
So it's only a 15-minute walk to this farm, rather than an hour or more. And you meet Tatiana and Peter, who are friends of Anna, who have this farm, and they basically sort you out with some coffee and stew and bread and beds, and it's all wonderful. You get some rest, which means certain things also come with this. So, first of all, we can do an investigative development phase. So you can try and get your ticks back, improve your skills. But before you do that, there are some rewards because you have completed a milestone. And you can roll this yourself, but for basically pulling Huber away from the earth and severing the connection especially with the killing of Krylov, you all get 2d6 sanity back.
Ooh.
Anna didn't die, so that's good. Then there's
three sanity back.
Oh, really?
Three
On
sanity back.
2d6?
Yes.
I got
I'm back
8.
on 32.
And I'm going to give you 1d4 for kind of handling the whole visitor situation as well, closing that off and saying goodbyes when you had the chance to, and all that kind of thing.
1 point.
Oh, another 4. Very nice.
I'm going to have to give my dice a stern talking to.
I'm back to maximum sanity now. That's nice.
I'm still 20 points off my starting sanity.
Yeah, I mean it's not without its toll, but hey.
No.
So do we just start doing our thingies now then, Mike?
All right,
can do
remind
your
me how to
ticks.
do the ticks because it's been a while.
Yep. Do we
So
do luck
you-
as well, Mike?
Totally failed that one.
Yes, you can do a luck
Yes.
refresh. So
It's
basically,
10,
you're
isn't it,
just trying to fail a skill. If you fail the skill, you get 1d10 points
my
in it.
God.
And you'd think with the way I'm rolling, I'd be fine here. But with my luck of 14, I rolled 13.
I roll. If it helps, I have a luck of 9 and I rolled a 4.
Back on formula
in the
at
same
least.
boat, but I have plenty of ticks at least. That is no charm's not going up there. Oh, however,
my language, wasn't it?
my brawl is definitely going up. That's nice.
Maybe here a while.
Nope.
Yay, I gained a skill point.
I was gaining
Aw.
lots of 5s, but I've now just gained a 2, which is not great. Especially considering
Oh,
it was only my rubbish
I missed
skill.
one. Ooh.
Let's see if I improve at driving a sleigh.
Mm.
Yes, I do. Hopefully, I won't wreck a lake snowbank
Everybody
again.
loves drive sleigh.
Nope.
I'm now twice as good at navigating as I was before.
Oh,
Okay, well that's good, right?
I'm still rubbish at it, but I'm twice as good as I used to be.
A bit better at stealth. That's nice.
So if I roll bang on, that means I don't get it, do I?
That's right.
That's
Yeah.
Oh,
not
and
right.
throwing. Good
Okay,
old
well,
throw.
Oh, don't start rolling well now, dice.
Oh, that's not too bad. It was the majority. Hurrah.
all right,
Basically,
me done.
from where you are in this farmhouse, you're talking to the Tatiana and Peter and Anna. You
Mhm.
realise that you are approximately quite close to Povignets, which is where you're supposed to meet Palliser at the church tomorrow noon. So, I mean, you can go back all the way to Medvezia Goria if you want a few hours of more walking, or you can just go from here and it saves you a long walk.
Yeah, but I don't have the camera.
Oh, you left the camera back there.
Well, I didn't honestly see the point in lugging it all the way to do the scary ritual to run away in case it got broken.
Oh,
He's got a point. Unless he wants us to take some pictures of Huber.
you do have a point, but we kind of need the camera.
Yeah.
All right, a few hours of walking it is.
Oh dear.
I think I could draw you, Hooper.
We don't want to draw Hooper. We want to take photographs of the documents.
Yes.
We need to take photographs of the documents.
I'd need a deep piece
Okay.
of paper.
So are all of you going to go back or just Francis?
I
Well,
think Maxime would be more inclined to stay, frankly, and try and hunt for alcohol and get a bit of rest.
so we're going to wait for. How long will it take Francis to get there and to get there to Anna's and back?
It's probably going to be, I don't know, 6 hours or so there and back.
Ooh, okay. And how long is it before we've got to meet? What's his
You
face?
meeting him at
Awesome.
noon tomorrow. I mean, it's what probably, let's say it's about 6 o'clock in the evening now. By the time you get there and have some stew and a bit of a rest.
Okay,
I
so we
don't
could get.
suppose this lot have
18
got a
hours.
sleigh that could kind of take us back to.
I don't know, Francis. What's your luck score? Would you like to roll it?
My luck is crap, but we'll give it a go. Come on, be good. Don't be good. No, that would be no.
Okay, they have a sleigh, but they would love to lend it to you. However, it's currently out at the top field, mending some fences with one of their, sons or someone.
Walking time it is.
All right,
Bye, everyone.
I'll walk
So
with you. But let's get some sleep first, and we'll set out at first light at 6 in the morning.
Okay, so
We have
Georgina and Francis are going to go while Maxime and Eleanor get a bit more of a lie-in. Is that the idea?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because Eleanor was in a very bad state. She needs all the rest she can get. But I don't think it's safe.
Maxime just wants to sleep.
Shot. Yeah, speaking of which, good night's sleep. How many magic points and hit points do we get back?
Okay, so so like a full night's sleep, you get all your magic points back, and you're gonna get 1 hit point back if you've slept.
Yeah.
That's good.
Okay. So as the first light of dawn rises, obviously Peter and Tatiana are up because they're farmers, because they get up before dawn and then they start working at dawn. So luckily for you two, you wake up and they've got some breakfast and coffee ready to go, so you can slip that down and then be on your way.
Yep.
While Maxime and Eleanor decided whether they want a bit of breakfast and then go back to bed, or whether they just stay in bed and have something later or whatever they like. Obviously, if only Eleanor had gone, then all three of the indefinitely insane characters could go off into the snow in the morning. But unfortunately, my dream can't come true, and I only get two of you to do that. So, so we will see what you two get up to next time. And so, well done. You have seemingly fulfilled your plan of dispelling Huber from the earth. Seemingly, you have seemingly saved the day. All you've got to do now is uncover the machinations of the Soviet state, get out alive with the intelligence, and hopefully all will be well. I mean, you've faced down an outer god kind of monstery thing. Surely, some Russian Secret Service agents are going to be a breeze. Surely nothing could go wrong now. So join us next time for what looks to be the conclusion to The Dead Within, this time next week. So see you all then. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.
Bye, everyone.
See you soon.
Take care.
Bye.